And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let Me Just Say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Fada. Good choice of words, Father. We have Dion.
Good evening and happy new year, motherfuckers.
Okay, we have D Wolf.
Yo,
We have Crystal.
Hola.
And we have Tanya.
Hello, hello.
So how's everybody doing tonight?
pretty
Other
good.
than the snow that's been hitting us like a motherfucker.
I
Why do
mean,
we never get snow around Christmas when niggas actually want snow?
right?
It was 60 fucking degrees on Christmas.
Facts. It was niggas out here around my wearing fucking shorts. Like, what?
Just for three
No, that
days
wasn't a
later, the
joke.
temperature to drop.
That wasn't a joke. What was
I'm
laughing?
not. Hey man, global warming's coming. Better be ready. That's all I'm.
Coming, nigga, it's here.
Oh
That's why
shit.
wintertime don't be kicking into motherfucking January no more, nigga. Global warming is here.
Wow.
Mm. Okay, on to the show. I know I send out the list, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm slacking. But I do have what we is going to talk about, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. We are now in the New Year's, and the first thing I want to talk about is some wrestling. So for the WWE Day One. So I don't know. I know me, Father Dion, we watch wrestling. I don't know if anyone else really watches wrestling like that, but it basically WWE had a pay per view on the 1st of January, and a lot of things kind of happened on there. Even though COVID doesn't hit some of the wrestlers, they still, in my opinion, put on a good show. Dion, what you think about the show? I just felt about it.
The only thing I can't even say upset, but just disappointed was how they just handed that title to Brock Lesnar. Other than that, the pay per view was good.
Father, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What you thought about the pay per view?
I mean, it was a good pay per view. Like I thought it was good. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan was good. I enjoyed the Fatal Five Way. Actually, you know, Brock Lesnar was suplexing everybody. Bobby Lashley freaking speared him through a barricade. Like, they were doing their thing.
Mhm.
So I mean, it was a good pay per view. I liked it.
It's a shame that when I finally get my Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar is in a Fatal Five Way, and that's the first time.
Yeah, but you're gonna get it in a Royal Rumble now.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was hoping they save it till WrestleMania
Yeah,
because I
same. I
feel
was
like
about to say that. I was about to say that. That should have been a WrestleMania match.
I don't know. I don't know if Bobby Lashley's still going to be in the Royal Rumble though. So it could still go that way. That it could go to WrestleMania, but I'd rather Big E fight since I know they don't do that. He gets an automatic rematch at the title or some shit like that. But I
Yeah,
do.
the rematch clause they removed that. They
Yeah,
removed
I
that
know.
years ago.
Yeah, I know. They removed that years ago. Which honestly, I always thought the rematch clause was a good idea. But I feel like I don't know, for this one they could have kept that. I think they could have gave us more time to build for Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, even though Royal Rumble is one of the top four. But I feel like even then the championship matches don't really matter. It's all about the Royal Rumble. So
Right.
why why spend all that time on the Royal Rumble instead of the WrestleMania? At least that's how I feel about it. But how do you, I don't know. Am I the only one that's really like, I don't want to say excited, but I'm happy that this is finally happening? That Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley is
I'm glad it's
I'm
happening
glad.
just for the simple fact that Brock has been pushing for this match since he came back to WWE.
Brock or Bobby.
Bobby, excuse me. But yeah, Bobby's been trying to get a match with Brock Lesnar literally ever since he came back to WWE a few years ago.
Now, this one's gonna be good though. Those two is gonna be good. I'm really liking the way they've been pushing Bobby Lashley.
I love it.
So I would love to see a Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar match.
You know what? You know what's funny? Like they could have put the Hurt Business into this too, especially since Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar known each other for like the longest. It could be a great story they could build up, but I don't know if they're going to go that far. But also, since we're on wrestling, what do y'all think about the latest firings that been happening, like William Regal and Samoa Joe again, and I think some other people that that's been around for like Road Dogg. They fired Road Dogg too. So how y'all feel about these firings that's been happening?
WWE make my ass itch. Sometimes, like my issue with them is they take something so simple and so like pure, and then they just waste it, and that's all they do. Ugh. Like, no, here's my thing. You had Samoa Joe in the ring. There was a thunderstorm at WrestleMania. Y'all remember, right?
Yeah.
There was a fucking thunderstorm. Samoa Joe stood in that rain and told the people it's going to be about a 15-minute delay. He was on TV doing that shit for the WWE. And then they release him twice.
That's why I threw out that Patrick meme.
Bro, also, William Regal, like, bro, how long has William Regal been in WWE?
Since like 98.
Like what?
1998. 1998.
1998. And not only that, the shit that the NXT superstars went through, he was actually the person that made that shit happen for everybody. Like that, they're all saying it on Twitter. Like Tegan Knox, like when she had her injury, she said William Regal, if it was not for him, she gave him his props. I'm just saying, man, these firings, something is wrong here.
You ever notice these are like Triple H's people? That's the one thing I've noticed. These are all Triple H's people that's really getting fired. So
I think Triple H at this point, Triple H needs to do his own thing, if that's the case, or take over.
Correct me if I'm wrong, real quick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't I think I heard something about Triple H suffering from like some type of health issues or something.
He had a heart condition, but he's like getting better. But he might have to force to retire from wrestling though.
So this is Vince purging the system. This is Vince purging Triple H's influence out of this shit.
I mean, I can see that. So to see how like the NXT 2.0 looked, and them getting rid of all of the people that made NXT the thing since day one, like Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa,
Gargano.
Gargano, the way what's his name? Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
I
didn't realize he was the son of Rick Steiner. Like, damn.
I mean, he looked like a Steiner. I'm not even mad that he got the belt, but they could have done that on a takeover or some shit like that. They just said, "Fuck it, just give it, just take it away from Ciampa or some shit like that." I ain't like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Mandy Rose is killing it. The Toxic Attraction. I think that we finally figured out the name. Toxic Attraction was good. And there's like Io Shirai is still doing her thing and all that other stuff. And I can see like them going for a younger demographic and all that other stuff. But goddamn, everything is like that Triple H done put in. They just like getting out. So I'm just wondering who is going to be taking over. No pun intended. But like who's gonna be put in charge of places and all that?
And ain't no telling. The thing that gets me with that is I'm pretty sure whoever it is, we're not gonna see them like that. They're not gonna be as active in the goings on of NXT like Triple H and William Regal and Shawn Michaels were. You know, and that's really, in my opinion, one of the biggest components, if not the biggest component, that made NXT. Not just the fact that you had management, there on screen, like doing that shit, because obviously you see that shit on Raw and SmackDown, but it's the way they conducted their shit.
Dang. Well, anything else before we move on to our next topic?
I just want to say also, oh man, round of applause for Liv Morgan, please, because that girl put on literally the best match she's ever put on. Um, just wow. she ain't get the title, but that's literally the best match I've ever seen Liv Morgan put on. Wow.
Okay. All right. I wanted to move on to this next topic. I was going to save it for later, but Q's not here, so I'm just gonna push some stuff around. I was strolling on and I already posted this in the chat, but I'm gonna post it again. This YouTuber go by the name of Paris Malone. She done put something on the community page that basically saying that podcasters are the worst thing that happened to the black community, and
Yeah,
that's like Paris Milan. Hold on, Paris Milan like doubled down with basically saying, in my opinion, most black male ran podcasts, and she put that in caps, and channels are the worst thing that happened to black women, specifically black women. I am beyond sick every time a dust mop goes viral for humiliating us. When will we get tired and stop participating in the abuse by giving them views, calling in, and showing up for the slaughter? Your degradation is generating the millions while your image and safety continue to suffer the most. So I bring this on to the panel. And specifically, I want to start with Father first because basically, you and I both basically the first episode is basically you, me, and AJ when he was just there. So, and this obviously this prevalent of black male podcasters and all that stuff. But I want to start with you. How do you feel about her opinions on this?
In a way, she has a point. And the only reason why I'm saying she has a point is because we see a lot of these podcasts, like they're just dudes with like they have different expectations when it comes to women from what the average person is doing or what the average dude is doing. So when they're making these podcasts, they're kind of spreading their perspective on things. And like DJ Academics does it. Fresh and Fit, they do it. Like they dealing with a whole different type of women over there. So these dudes that are absorbing their game, they act a certain way, and I think that's what she's talking about. That type of like Kevin Samuels type shit. You know what I mean? So, and it's with these men who have like these podcasts. So like I understand where she's coming from when she's saying that. But she's making an overgeneralization, and I keep saying this. People don't make distinctions, so it gets hard and the message gets lost because people are being generalized. Generalizations invite deflections. That's why this conversation is so fucking difficult to have. And she's making it worse by saying that type of shit and overgeneralizing when she really should be attacking the institutions that perpetuated that type of behavior in the first place. But here we are again, distracted because we don't understand the actual root of the problem. And she's just doing that shit constantly. But you know what? At some point when people actually understand what the issue is, maybe they would have the solution. But if they keep wanting to distracting themselves with shit like that, then it's just going to repeat. Another person is going to say the same shit she's saying, and then we're back to wherever this conversation is leading us right now. It's going to happen again. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I do want to say this though.
Mm.
There for like the longest, even since I was growing up, there's been a lot of uh not just YouTube channels, but even shows that's dedicated to black women. And I'm all for them having that and all that stuff. But for the longest, as much as I've been watching like daytime talk shows or even some regular TV shows and all that other stuff, I've seen the whole women just talk about how, and I'm speaking on the black people in general. Niggas ain't shit. They deadbeats and all that other stuff. All they do is in jail and all that stuff. And you are right. It's a bunch of overgeneralizing. They don't really pick out the specific people and all that other stuff. But as long as I've seen this, you don't really hear people like really pick out um who is really doing this. Now that I know some people they have the nicknames for it, the Pookies and the Ray Rays of the world and all that, but most people don't even get to that type of picking it out. And I do one thing I will say, like there are black male podcasts and TV that I don't want to say expose. I don't want to say exposes, but I'll say it kind of exposes the delusion that some of these women have. There was something that Crystal sent me that it was over there in London, and this woman she was talking about. I don't want to work, and I'm talking about delusional. These like super delusional women. That she was like, I don't want to work and all that other stuff. I want the man to be the provider and all that stuff. Then she goes, I don't want to even give him a birthday gift. I am the birthday gift. I am the prize and all that other stuff. And like sometimes you hear stuff about this, and then people go, nah, you don't see women like that. You don't hear women like that. So it kind of like puts the women on there. I will I will say that and I do agree with some people. That's not every woman. I think you gotta specify who is doing these and what type of women are doing these. And most of the time you hear modern woman, but we don't really know the specific of what is a modern woman these days, because that's kind of like a vague statement in itself. Because I feel like anybody that's working could be considered a modern woman, even if they have traditional values. You do modern stuff and all that. Um, I feel like I do feel like these black male podcasters are needed because after a while we need a voice, and I feel like we need somewhere where if you want us to like fix our problems, I feel like black men got to be the ones to do it. So we got to be the ones addressing it and all that other stuff. Now, like I
That
said,
is true.
depending on who you listen to, and that's why I say take a little bit from everybody, but don't really be like a super duper follower. You could take everything from somebody because, like, I can understand why a lot of black women don't like Thomas Sotomayor, but I could take the good from what he was talking about, and most of his stuff is factual. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. Same thing with Tariq Nasheed. Same thing with like a O'Shea Du Jackson. Even from Fresh and Fit, and even though they do some fraudulent shit and all that stuff, from an Abba Preach. Uh, and even, but it's like, but I could also take some stuff from some women, which in their points they do have points and all that other stuff. But I can't really say that black male podcasts are the worst thing that happened to black women. I feel like there's a
I
lot of
agree.
other things, bro. Tanya, I would like to hear from you.
All right, cool. I
She's
I was
excited.
waiting to jump in like double dutch. But I I I I agree. I think that everybody needs a space to voice their opinions. Whether that's a podcast or whatever, you just talking on YouTube, whatever. Um, the problem is that there are women out there that feel like this is facts. You know what I mean? Like male podcasters or male whatever is like destroying the community, and no background, no facts, no proof, just this is just is what it is. So I definitely agree with you on taking different things from different people or different sources or different areas. Um, but in like generally, like it's bullshit. Like I don't I want to know who hurt her. That's where I come to. I want to know what guy fucked her over so bad to the point where she feels like all but I bet he was on a podcast too. But anyway, to the point where
Mm.
all black podcast people are just how dare you destroy the community? Like of all the things that are destroying the community, that's not it. That's not it. You need to have a cause for something else. It's other things to focus on.
I have another theory in regards to
What?
that. Okay, and this goes to this touches on something I said right before we started recording. Right, she's probably one of those chicks that went on to do an interview or whatever with somebody on somebody's podcast or whatever, and just got embarrassed because she fucked around and said something stupid. And the reason I came to that conclusion, like I said before, certain podcasts where it it seems like they're more or less bashing women, like like Fresh and Fit, because like I said before before recording started or whatever, there's moments when okay, yeah, they spit facts, and there's moments when I'm like, okay, I don't know about all that shit, and they their shit is heavily targeted. They know who to talk to. They know what to say and who the fuck to say it to. Look at the women that they typically have on their show. You could tell they be picking out just straight airheads. That's the only way to put it.
Or
That's really
picking
the only
people
way to
that
just. What was you saying?
no, or picking people that they know agree with what they're saying. Because you're not
Not
going to
even.
invite somebody on the show that's going to have different opinions than you because that's going to make you look stupid. So now
Not.
you just got a whole bunch of women just talking about stuff that don't make no sense.
It's not even. It's not even that. These girls, obviously, with the type of shit they be saying, okay, no woman's gonna co-sign to it like that. But they be picking out girls, they clearly they can't. You could tell they can't articulate, their counter argument to the bullshit they're saying. These is, you know, most of these girls that they be having on the show, let's be real, they be Instagram broads. That's what most of them be. They be Instagram broads, chicks you see on Tumblr and shit like that. Models and shit. They've never had to get by on nothing you know, but their looks. And those are the cats that, podcasts like Fresh and Fit are gonna target.
That might come into what Ray was saying about I am the gift. Like I'm not going to buy him a gift because I am the gift, which is stupid. Like come on now. But
See, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
All right, all right. Hey, Crystal, what about you? How you feel about this?
It's a double-ended sword. The reason why I say it's a double-ended sword is because obviously the woman that had a lot to say and overgeneralizing everything, as Fada put it, obviously she is hurt. And I always talk about people seeking therapy. She overgeneralized it so much that she put the black man into a category that he needs not to be. Whatever the fuck they're saying, or whoever has a podcast that just happens to be a black man, is not going to make or break you. And that's the problem that I have with a lot of people's opinion about Kevin Samuels and Tom, whatever his name is, Tom Sawyer.
Tommy Sotomayor.
I don't know where I got Tom Sawyer, but you get
It's okay.
You just have to like pronouncing that name.
because the power is in free speech, correct?
Right.
So power is in free speech. Why am I going to get butthurt if a black man says on his podcast anything negative about the black woman? Okay? He does not know me. That means he's hurt. And I have nothing to do with that unless he seeks out help for himself. I could talk to him and tell him why his opinion is not factual or logical in any sense or form. But for everyone, man and woman, sometimes when they get a platform, they just go sideways and speak out of emotion instead of logic. And we need to know who our enemies are. We want people like that to get on the podcast and speak foolishness so we know once they're done poisoning people, okay, they'll come over to Ray's podcast and get the fucking antidote. We don't want to shut these people up. The black man has been shut up. The black woman has been shut up a lot of times. And sometimes the podcast or YouTube or whatever platform they feel free, okay, because we know it's deeper than that. You can never be free on anything that you don't own. But anyway, that's a different topic. But at the end of the day, we need to know who are the people that spit out this fucking poison, and if we have the antidote for the people who are really seeking truth and not victimization. What she is a victim, unfortunately. She can't even pinpoint the exact people that she has an issue with. If she did, because I haven't heard or read the article of what she was talking about, so forgive me, but I just feel like because she was overgeneralizing the whole topic and just putting everybody in a group, she's doing the same thing that a lot of people do when they're judging black people. So
Thank you.
yeah, it's not nice.
I like the way you put that. Oof.
And okay, and one thing, D Wolf, you got anything to say about that before I start?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's about perspective because for the longest time, women usually had the floor when it came to talking about relationships. It would be like on every talk show, every movie, things of that nature, radio shows. And when it came to men, they'd be the ones just to call in and then have to hear what a radio DJ had to say. There wasn't really a platform for men to really just sit down and really discuss women from their perspective, relationships from their perspective, until podcasting became big. And then you got to think about, okay, these are real people, not celebrities. These are real people talking about giving their own opinion, like raw. And there's no executive or producer to say, oh, you can't say that on TV, or this will be too offensive, this and the other. So I think it's mostly, yeah, perspective. And the response is based off what's trending now, because you're not gonna see videos of the men who are of the right mind and with the right opinions and the correct facts. They're not going to be pushed to the forefront. You're not going to see that trending as soon as you log in. You're going to see the conflict between the men and the women, like the arguments, like what you said Crystal sent to you. You're going to see that trending. You're going to see Tommy's worst videos. You're going to see what's that guy we make fun of all the time? What's his name? Samuels?
Kevin Samuel?
Yeah,
Kevin Samuel?
him. Yeah, he's gonna trend because of some outlandish shit he said to a woman. That's what you're gonna see, but you're not gonna see, the ones. So this woman, that's her perspective, is what I'm saying. So as from her point of view, that's what she's seeing. Like this is the worst thing ever. Like this is all we get. But she doesn't know that there are men who are of sound mind, who know how to handle these things, and they do speak their opinion. They do as well have podcasts. You don't hear them. She does not know that. So I guess that's why she's doing
it. It's funny you say that because it reminds me of something I've always said, and it's a pet peeve because Tommy Sotomayor do this too. You sometimes when you know how some people they lash out and then they're so uncontrolled they lash out even on the people that kind of helps them or that's on their side, and then like they try to they act like it's just me against the world or some shit. Even when you try to calm them down, that's how I feel sometimes when women like her speak because I've always said this. There are men out there because I understand like there's some assholes, there's some ain't shit niggas, there's some deadbeats out there that do some fuck shit. A lot of men see that. But there's also men out there, and I say this all the time. They're either not to a point to where they're simping, but they're black men out there that appreciates black women. There are black men out there that protects black women. There are black, defends black women in their
Mhm.
opinion. Let them have the shared space and everything. But you don't. I don't see them ever giving them credit or like you bigging them up or something like
Mm.
that. They don't have to be bigger than your movement, but you could say, and shout out to the men out there who sees my vision and something like that. I see. I don't even see that from them. I usually, and like I said, I try not to I try my best not to generalize. I do it from time to time, but I try to at least check myself on it. But I've seen it where it's just like when they say like men are gross, men ain't shit, all that other stuff. And then
Mhm.
like, and I say this, you don't, if you stop generalizing, you don't have to say not all men. So you could just say like, even though I hate the term Ray and Pookie because my real name is Ray and my grandmama
Mm.
called me Ray
Oh
and
no.
my mama nicknamed me Pookie. So
Oh
anytime I
no.
hear Ray and Pookie, I cringe a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck y'all.
Ouch. Ouch.
And I also
I
have
know.
to consider the fact
Go,
that no, go ahead. I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
and I'm just in this here. Look, there are, like I said, there are men out there that that fights for y'all and all that stuff. Like I said, they don't have to be big in the movement, but at least give them credit and all that stuff. You could just separate the men that do good from the men that treat y'all like shit, and then maybe we can finally get to the point where we can solve this problem. And another problem I have is that there are men, and I've said, and I done like put this out there. I know Father done put this out there. We have gave many examples because obviously, do I think black women aren't protected? I've said not really, not as much as white women, not as much as other ethnic or races, but we do
Hmm.
out there. But there are men out there that do protect black women. I believe Crystal said she came from a family like 13 uncles. Like if
Mm.
anybody fuck with her, them 13 uncles are pulling up. I come
By the
from a
way,
family
I
and same
love
thing.
that. I love that.
I love it too. And
That's how it's
I
supposed to
come from a
be.
family. Yeah, and I come from a family, and like short story, when my little sister was in high school, there was a boy that liked her. She politely told him, "No, I'm not interested, motherfucker. Something wrong with that motherfucker." And
Hmm.
he threw a desk at her or some shit like
What
that, and
the?
all that
A
stuff.
desk?
I know, I know. He
A
was like
whole deck.
something wrong with that dude. I think
Oh
something
hell
was wrong
no.
with that dude, but yeah, I know. And
That's
then
not funny, but
That's horrible.
my yeah, I know. But when my father found out, the next day he was up in that school.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
then
that's
Yeah.
right.
the next day he was up in that school, and the counselor was trying to calm him down. He said, "Fuck all that. Who's the guy that was throwing shit at my trying to hit my daughter and all that stuff?" My
Right.
father was there. I have like I said, I have examples of men defending women. Not only he did, there was men in my church that was go around checking them. I went around there and I graduated and I went back around there with a baseball bat,
Hmm.
going around checking shit. And my older brother did. There's times I was like, when I tell you like my sister, there's times when my sister's been through shit and black man has come through and just stopped this shit.
Yeah.
It's like I can claim you many examples, but usually when I do, even though they're right, I've seen people deflect it because they're too much into their own shit that they don't really realize it. What men are trying to say. So
Yeah.
go ahead, D. Wolf.
No, I also wanted to add to that. There's another aspect of why men are always on the negative end of things. Like even the ones that would protect women, there are still things that women will say like, "Oh, why has he got to say that?" and say what this woman says here is
Mhm.
because of the culture as well. Um, when we have things like the Instagram models and shit like that, and the what's that injection shit we were talking about the other day, the
BBLs,
yeah,
the BBLs.
all that. When we complain about it, that's and a lot of the women that listen to this shit, they're into that, you know. So now that's an extra hate from the female side, you know, and that's what's giving this, pushing this perspective out and have women, complaining about it like this. Yeah, and what trends, man? There's always conflict. Conflict always trends
That's
because
true.
they guys don't want to see their young, like their sister or their woman themselves or family, ending up like that, right? The
Right.
ramifications and all that. We have this protective thing, and we're gonna talk shit. Some of them will be so raw and insulting, but it's like tough love. But the woman won't get that. It fucking hurts, to hear that, and especially from someone she probably listened to and was like, "Yup, yup, yup." He knows what he's saying, and then she's one of these girls, and she has to hear that. It's they'll turn on you, you know. And they trend these things on purpose, by the way. So just to have us fucking fighting.
And I also I know that the one thing she was talking about that the women go on these shows like Kevin Samuels or any other show. I seen them do it on Thomas Sotomayor's show as well, where it's just like it seems like, and Fresh and Fit does this too. Like they ask you these topics, and the men they already got these facts and you know these numbers and stats and all that other stuff, and it's to the point where they don't even have to look at their stats. They could just say them off the top of the head because usually when men debate each other, we have facts, we have stats to back up. That's why like basketball debates are so like relevant, or you know shows like First Take is so popular. You have two people with their own stats, and they have anything to refute their argument and all that stuff. A lot of, and I know there are women that do, but I've seen a lot of those women that's on there. They're not ready for that. They're not prepared for that. So a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of their answers do come from an emotional standpoint, but you can also see it as like I wasn't there. You can tell they're always off guard when you throw some stats like that. Like, you know, 8 out of 10 divorces are started from black women and all that other stuff, and the whole the numbers thing and anything that has to do with numbers and you know high value males and all that stuff, which I'm not getting into, but you see all that they get thrown, and then most of the time they catch them in their most emotional. So I've seen a lot of that. So I would like to see a point where it's like they do debate and then the both of them comes with facts. Now I will say this: Thomas Sotomayor has said this. Like if you want to come debate on a show, they'll schedule it. And then I've seen some people still don't come with some facts and all that other stuff. But other than that, you can tell like a lot of those women they come in they're just completely off guard.
You reminded
any
me.
last words before?
Yeah, you reminded me. With Fresh and Fit, Fit, he got doxxed not too long ago, and it turns out he's FBI or former FBI. So that's another thing to consider when it comes to his podcast, and not to trust him because FBI and black people don't mix.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just listen to his podcast for 5 minutes, and then you'll just get everything you need.
I never listened to his podcast, but he's been a guest on shows I watch.
Stand 5 minutes,
and I'm like, yo, this guy.
See, I watched that shit for 5 minutes, then exited.
I watched
the show. I watched the show. Yeah, I watched this podcast. And you can tell the way he shoots his questions and the way he moderates. You can tell it comes from either a military or police interrogation. So it's just like he's been like the first time I seen it, I said I'm pretty sure he's like done some law shit because the way he counteracts and all that other stuff is just like it's very abrasive and in your like damn.
That further proves our point of what I said earlier about the way he approaches his shit. His shit is targeted.
Good cop,
bad cop. That proves my point. Yeah.
And plus, he don't like black women anyway, so it don't really. He said it on his podcast. He called them Shaniquas and all that other stuff, which is bad.
What is Middle Eastern?
Yeah, he's like Middle Eastern. I think.
Well, he's classified as Caucasian anyway, so.
Sudan. I think he's Sudanese.
Okay.
I think he's Sudanese.
Oh, okay, then nah, he's black.
Yeah. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Bro, I ain't got time for all that shit. Really, I think they all full of shit.
like I always say, take whatever you can, and whatever you think you can use it, and whatever you don't think is good, just discard it. That's how I do with everybody.
Oh my goodness,
works for me. On to like the next topic. I wanted to talk about this, but for some reason I couldn't find the article. Now I found it. I don't know if y'all could know who Mike Hill is, but if you watch ESPN, you've seen him on SportsCenter. But he had this topic about and I found this on Yahoo. Atlanta Black Star, excuse me. Sparks debate about after he pleads for more shows about college educated and positive black men. He had a tweet, if I can find the tweet. Yeah. Um, basically, he's like, we've had living singles, girlfriends, insecure, shows about positive black women and their relationship with each other. Has there ever been a good, successful TV show about black men like this? Only and he was like one that lasted for 4 seasons. Now, a lot of people thought he was hating, in which I didn't think that. He was like, he's basically wanted to see more shows about, positive black men who are educated and all that stuff. Just like some of the shows like Girlfriends, Insecure, Living Single, all great shows, by the way, and all that other stuff. So I asked the panel, do y'all agree with him? Because he got dragged. He kind of got dragged for having this opinion.
I mean, he's not wrong. There have been shows like that, but they're few and far in between.
And they're usually already married and shit. You know, it's not like from the
Facts.
single perspective. If he does it the right way, it's never that. There's always an asshole when they're single, and yeah, they're always womanizers and shit. It's always that when you really think about it. Like the men on TV, yo, if you really think about it, he's right, yo. Like and most of the shows, not all of them, because you could look at Cosby and Carl Winslow, but the guys were always dummies like Fred Flintstone and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you like no young woman could see or young man could actually see a positive type of or intelligent black male or male in general on TV. It was far and few between. It's mostly the women, and they're always suffering at the hands of males in most episodes and shit. So yeah, he's right.
There's a fucking word for that. It's I can't get it out. There's a word for that shit.
Flannerism.
There it is.
No, I agree too. But I think the problem is, and y'all can let me know if I'm wrong or right. I'm definitely
We
open
will.
for opinions. But I think that the reason that there wasn't a show of predominantly black men is I don't think there's a good enough market for it, to be completely honest with you. Like, I don't
I
think they
thought
would
of
get
that
their
too.
money from it if that
I
was the
thought of
case.
that too.
You know what
Like,
I'm
how do you
saying?
write that?
I think
So,
in today's day and age, this is a perfect time for a show like that to drop.
I don't know because we like Tanya said, and I thought of a couple of them in my head, like brothers. They used to be on UPN. They had Kadeem Hardison, uh, Tommy
oh yeah, okay,
Davidson,
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
what's his name, Kelly Perrin, and that fourth light skinned nigga. That's always someone's boyfriend that doesn't wrong.
Not that, not that.
Damn.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like you see him. He's like, oh, he's that guy.
Oh, he's
He's
that
like
nigga.
Bokeem Woodbine. He's like Bokeem Woodbine. He's like, I know him, but I don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, but um, I think the closest. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think the closest thing we got to that is First Bel Air, and that's the show. And then I think of Martin, but Martin was not. I mean, he had a job and he had a good job and all that stuff. And I
I
don't
mean,
know if you would
he
count Martin.
see that was
Wayne's
more
Brother.
about like his growth from the radio talk show to being on TV and all of that. But you know,
How about the Wayne's
it,
brothers?
I was just about to say the Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
Uh, and I like that show.
Hell yeah.
The
John
Wayans,
Witherspoon.
the
Come
Wayne
Wayans
on,
Brothers
brothers,
was
son.
lit.
John Witherspoon. The dad.
yeah. He
Son.
had his pops had his own business.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm and Eddie. I thought Malcolm and Eddie was about
Oh,
three
I
or four
love that
seasons
shit.
though.
Man, I miss that.
Malcolm, yeah.
That
Damn,
shit was
I feel
hilarious.
old. I feel
Oh,
So
old.
I
Shit.
had to I had to go back into my sitcom catalog and shit. It's like,
Mm.
well, of course you have a different world. I
Yep.
guess you can count Cosby Show, Family Matters, but not really. Family Matters more or less like the Urkel Show. But Carl Winslow
yeah.
will save the day once or twice. Um, like I said, brothers. I don't know if I could call One on One, but that was about. That's more or less about flexing his daughter.
Yeah.
How about the
So
one with
in the
Cool
house,
J? We were talking about
In
it.
the house,
Yeah. In the
in
yeah.
the
house. Yeah.
house,
Oh, what was that show? Oh crap! Damn.
Who was in it?
I'm trying to think. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna mute myself. Give me a second. Hold on.
Now he
I
did
can see
say
the theme
Atlanta.
song.
You did all that. I can't remember. Sorry.
Because I can
Do you
see
know
the
the theme
credits.
song?
I can
Do you
see the
know the theme
credits,
song?
but I can't hear the song. And I remember it going around in a circle. Oh my god. I'm
Can
gonna
you
figure
say
it
the
out.
credits?
It's not like you're talking about a different world.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna come back. Hold on.
It sounds
Now
like
he
you're
did
talking
say
about a different
Atlanta.
world, and I want to. You make me want to throw something at you.
Now he did say Atlanta, but he was like, I think Atlanta is brilliant, but it's still not displaying an ensemble of college educated positive brothers navigating life together in their
We
relationships.
Mm.
we need
Atlanta is funny,
something
but
like we need something in like the format of something like a different world. I feel like, but like modern day. You know,
All right, I got it.
his,
Y'all
what
remember the
was it?
Parenthood?
Yeah, I was thinking that. Oh my god.
That's the show I
Dun,
was talking about. The
dun, dun, dun.
Parenthood.
Dun. Yeah, I remember the Parenthood. What about the Steve Harvey show? What would y'all say about it? They were teachers though. Like at
I
least he was
mean,
a music teacher. He was just,
yeah,
and
a
Romeo
music teacher coming off
Woodhead
a
was not the
successful music career.
I
So
just
there's
came
that.
across hanging with Mr. Cooper today
Oh,
on
hanging
You
with
never
HBO
seen
Crying.
Hanging
Max.
with Mr.
Cooper.
Cooper?
No. I've been watching it. I mean, I was scrolling through HBO Max and I was like, oh shit, I missed this show.
Cooper. That was my
Hmm.
shit.
Yeah, that was
Christ,
by yeah.
I was still like single digits in age when that was on TV. So, God damn, I feel old. You remember
Now
when it
here,
used to
now here.
be?
Okay, now here's the
Ooh,
thing, and here's my opinion. Because I think what he's asking for, I don't know if men is really going to watch that.
No.
I would. The
And
fuck?
would you really? Would you really?
Yes,
One
yes.
person.
Because I don't know. Because I'm not going to lie to you. Empire was. I think the shows like Empire and Power and The Wire are
You think
more.
Men with Sons would? Or Men with
Yeah,
Kids?
Sons of Anarchy and all that stuff. I feel like that's more up the what we'll watch. Like there could be a smart nigga in there, like an Andre, or
Mhm.
Yeah, but Andre was a fucking psychopath, so we're not even gonna.
okay. Let me tell you. I would say this: a lot of people would like Empire if Jussie Smollett wasn't gay, even though him being gay is like the most hilarious thing in the show. As me and Father that said many a fucking times. It's one of them. It's one of them. But I think a lot of people like they would watch that if he wasn't gay. Because I know a lot of people
It
that
wasn't
like
about
I
him
stopped
being.
watching it
Hold
because
on.
it got too
I,
gay.
to Cole Father, it wasn't necessarily the problem. Wasn't him being gay. It was the fact that he was bad at it.
And
I
then
never
you're
said
right.
that. I never said that. I said he was
With
a terrible hoe.
He said he was a terrible
he was
thought.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
either way, he was bad at what the fuck he was doing. The fuck.
Oh my goodness.
And then like I don't know if y'all ever watched this, but The Real Husbands of Hollywood.
I
That
watched a
that show's
little
not
bit of
making me
that.
take it seriously. I don't know if we can even
No,
count
but
that
it's not
shit.
supposed to be taken. It's obviously
But
not supposed to be taken seriously. It's a
Yeah,
comedy, but
it's
it
a
was
yeah,
comedy.
but
entertaining as fuck. Was
yeah,
it?
but for the sake of what we were originally talking about, I don't know if we even want to consider that.
But what I'm saying is we done had shows like that. There were shows where Tay Diggs was a single father. Um,
That was a good one. I was disappointed that got canceled. I used to
exactly.
watch
That was a
that.
good one too. It actually
Yeah.
lasted for a couple seasons. David Wayans actually had a show where he was like a serious teacher and all that stuff. And my father talks about it all the fucking time. That got canceled. There's
Wait,
a
how
lot
do
of
we hold on? And all this talk of shows about cats who were successful in this, how did we gloss over my wife and kids?
Please no. Please God no. No.
that's why.
Was it his son?
That's
No.
that's why.
No.
And
No.
even the Hughleys. Hughleys was like the same thing. He had a dumbass.
Yo, the show, like I don't I'm not shitting on my wife and kids. It's a good show. I just cannot stand Junior.
Mhm.
I can't do it. I can't fucking do it, bro. I
Now,
can't stand him.
Tyler Perry, he got a show on BET. It's called Bruh.
Uh-oh.
But I don't know if anybody watches that
Ain't nobody
shit.
watching that shit.
Nobody
Wait,
watching no fucking shit named
He
wait.
got
Bruh.
enough out. Ain't he done already? Like,
I know
don't he
Tyler
need to
Perry had
take a
another
break or a
show. Like, what's it
vacation or
called
something?
again? Because I've never heard of this.
You
What's
never
this
heard of
shit?
Bruh?
I just know
No.
it's about brothers, right?
Yeah,
Right?
I guess
But then
so.
again,
It's
I don't watch
it's four black
BET.
men on there. I think that
I
was wasn't that the show where someone slapped another one and he,
And the way he fell on the ground and spun around, and it was hilarious.
but again,
oh my god,
I don't watch BET.
nobody
I
does. But I
just
feel
Nigga,
like if the
listen.
Real
this
Husbands of
shit got a
Hollywood come
4
back,
out of
people will watch
10.
that. Yeah, I heard it's bad, and I heard it's bad.
It's been on 2 seasons though. 43
Eh,
episodes. Renewed for a third season.
Yeah, it just
what
looks
else
so.
BT?
Ugh.
Nothing.
It,
If
Trash.
you
it
can
looks
go, you can
very
go.
it looks very Tyler Perry-ish. Just looks very Tyler.
Bruh, like,
Just
nah, because I'm on
Look at
the
the poster
BET
of
Plus.
them.
Bro, I'm on the BET Plus, like, little website or whatever. I'm not liking this. It's not.
It looked like they was like, all right, if y'all don't smile, y'all not finna get paid. And it was like, all right. And then they smile. And that's what the poster looked like.
This is weird. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
I gotta ask one question. If you're looking at like just screenshots from the show and maybe clips or something, how bad are the wigs?
Oh, well, it's their hair.
no, they
So.
have their real hair. They have their real
Oh,
They
hair.
all have their real hair.
oh, okay, okay. I
One
just
of
had
them
to.
Yeah.
bald.
I
Yeah,
just had
one
to
was
ask.
bald.
I just had to ask.
Yeah, no, it's a valid question because them wigs be trash. And it's
Come
like he
on,
got
man.
so much money. I never understood this about Tyler Perry. He got so much money. Why are you rushing through filming? Like, why is a whole movie taking like 12 days? And you wonder why people
Okay,
is like, them wigs is
to
trash.
answer
Niggas.
to, no. To answer your question, as rich as he is, he's also very fucking cheap. Michael
Yeah.
J. White said. Michael J. White said that boy will squeeze a penny, the last time a penny if he had to.
No, that makes sense because they was talking about how he's the only one that writes everything. And I'm
Yeah, he
assuming that's
is.
probably why, because he don't want to pay nobody else to
That's
do it.
he
It's
cheap.
that
Like
I think it's that, and I think it's out of that, and then from a narcissistic point of view, that he wants the credit for everything, so he's going to do that. He feels like you ever have someone that's just like, let's say your house is clean, but someone else can walk in and it says it's not clean to my standards, even though it's spotless. You ever had one of those people?
I see where you're
you,
going.
you can get the
Hmm.
Yeah,
fuck
it's
out.
like okay, it's clean, but they come with like the gloves and all that other stuff, and start high dusting and all that other stuff. Oh, you didn't get this spot and all that other stuff. Even though the house is like fucking spotless, you got one of those people. I feel like that's Tyler Perry when it comes to writing and having credit for all that other stuff. It's
Oh,
like
maybe he just want to keep seeing his name in the credits. Executive
that
producer
too, and
Tyler Perry.
Uh-huh.
that's where the
He seems like
narcissism
another
comes in.
motherfucker that like to hear
I feel
himself
like
talk.
that's where the narcissism comes in.
Shit. Oh, shit's funny. That don't, but all that don't mean shit though. If the end product is just bad,
But if you make money though, does it matter if it's bad?
Yes.
Not to Tyler Perry.
No, but Tyler Perry actually, I think Tyler Perry actually think his shit is good.
I'm convinced anybody that still fuck with Tyler Perry be watching his shit simply because they have nothing fucking better to do.
Can we
Here's the thing,
not
like
please?
I
No,
think
we're not
everybody that
starting
said it,
this.
his
We are not starting this. We are not
this is
starting
going
this.
down the
It
Tyler Perry
started the
rabbit hole
moment he
again.
brought up.
We are
No, it
not
started the
fucking
moment he
starting
brought up
this.
Tyler Perry. It started the
No, I
second he
didn't.
brought up Tyler Perry.
And
I don't give a
Dion is
fuck.
still going. I don't know why he's still going. Shut up.
Fuck that. Fuck
We
that.
are not doing this.
First episode of 2022. We going out.
I'm gonna just let you know I saved this motherfucking episode. Switch the motherfucking subject.
There's a reason his shit on BET. On a
Okay.
channel that
Any
don't
last
nobody
words?
fuck with.
Oh my god. Any last words before we move on to our final topic?
At the end of the day, if you're gonna do something black, just do it from the heart. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I just hope if there's someone that does want to make what Mike Hill is asking for, I just want it to be good. I do just want it to be good because I do think we have a lot of good in the past. We had a lot of good black men shows that considered black men and good to like moderate positions and all that other stuff to where they were either funny or hilarious or at least still insightful thinking. Um, I know there's not one for this generation. Like I said, if you're not counting Real Husbands of Hollywood, which is a fake reality TV show, but knows it is. But other than that, it's just I don't and make sure that it's entertaining enough for black men to watch it. So the final topic. Y'all heard about what's been going on with Antonio Brown?
Man,
Refresh my mind. Refresh my mind.
Okay, and I wanted Q to be here for it, but obviously he ain't here. But we're gonna talk about it anyway. If most people don't know, Antonio Brown is the wide receiver from or was the wide receiver from the Tampa Bay Bucks. And when he was playing the Jets last game, he in the middle of the third quarter, the man takes off his jersey and he takes off his shirt and walks out of the stadium. And he was like, and for people bringing up his stats, he was like one catch away from having this $1 million bonuses and all that stuff. He was liable to make $1 million bonuses, and he walks out, and they still have a game left, which is be played on this Sunday. Now, a lot of people was looking at it of they're trying to, push him out of his money. But the game before that, he had like 15 catches, and he was being targeted a lot so he could get that bonus. And plus, like I said, he had a week left. And a lot of people say he has mental illness or all that stuff. You need to look at the mental illness. And which kind of leads to my question, because I don't know if I've done said this before. I understand mental illness, but when is it time for someone to take accountability? And I understand this is a case-on-case situation, but I also see a lot of people was just like, it's the first thing they'll throw out. So people here, as knowledgeable as y'all are, when do y'all think even with the mental illness, that person should take accountability for his own actions? Dog.
So
somebody.
I understand it's a loaded question. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, nah. It's definitely not a loaded question because if you really think about it, it is a case by case thing, as Ray said. And if what he did it bothers somebody, then they need to unpack that because this is his experience. This is what he's going. This is what he's going through. He made a decision based on what he was going through. I feel like at some point you need to let people be people. You know what I'm saying? You need to let people fuck up. You need to let people, or like if something is too much for somebody, it's okay if they just leave. It's okay if they just take a second to breathe because that's important. Simone Biles did the same thing, didn't she? She not even Simone Biles, not her. Naomi Osaka.
Chappelle did.
Naomi Osaka kind of did the same thing. Well, she backed off of multiple tournaments just to get her mind right. You know what I'm saying? What if it's that?
I think the issue is in the middle of the game, though.
Right.
It's the middle of the game, but at the same time, that's a high stress situation. If he had that type of breakdown, not breakdown, but I'm using it as an example. If somebody was playing football and they had a breakdown in the middle of the game and they left the game, would you blame them?
Well, has he responded to this?
He put out. I can look for his tweet, but the first thing I think he did was put out a snippet of his mixtape. I'm not even bullshitting you.
Yeah, he was in fuck it mode, yo.
Yeah, just sometimes fuck it.
Fuck it.
He made a decision. That's all I'm saying. He made a decision, and he
Of course.
decided to leave the game in the middle of the game.
Oh my.
Maybe he coped before he even fucking did it.
And
So,
maybe
as far as we know.
if it got to the point where he left millions of dollars at the table, then that's something to look at.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
As
Wow.
for everybody crucifying him, like, why are you in that man's business? I know he's a football player. I know he's in the public eye and things like that, but this is his life. You know what I'm saying?
So when it comes to accountability, right? Um, I think sometimes, like you said, it's a case to case basis.
Right.
I don't really know the man, so everything that I'm saying is just speculation. We know that ego plays a big part when it comes to these sports or anyone in the media. We also know that a lot of people don't like to get the help that they need, but it is kind of ridiculous that every time a celebrity goes through something major or do something crazy like Britney Spears shaving off her head, they jump to the mental illness that they may or may not have. So yes, I agree when we're like, okay, when are we going to take accountability? Because at the end of the day, if you know something is wrong, especially these people that love to get all the black men to play NFL games and shit like that, they ignore the fact that they are mentally fucked up, so to put it, right? They just want to win the game. That's it. So when are we as people, black people especially, going to say, okay, we're done playing these fucking games. We're done, going into all these sports with all these mental illness problems. Um, so yes, he might have a mental illness, but again, I'm just speculating. I don't know the man. But at the end of the day, it's common sense. Why the fuck would you run out of a game when you have a loyalty and a contract and all that shit? But to each his own. He sounds a little crazy, but again, I don't really know the full story to talk.
Okay, maybe. Okay, this is the closest thing, and I probably should have did this at the first, but I found a video. Basically, I think it could break down in like a couple of minutes. I just gotta finagle with it a little bit. Ah, damn it!
No.
But all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about it without it. Like I said, it's a case on case basis, but with him, he has done some shit before that is kind of like questionable. Now, like I said, whether it's mental illness or him mental illness or not, him like throwing like a gummy bear full of dicks at cops or something like that. Him getting into it. Yes, he's done a lot of stupid. Like he's done a lot of stupid shit. Like I said, throwing gummy bears at top cops, getting into an argument with his baby mama and all that other stuff. Like I said, putting out mixtapes and going from team to team and like basically acting an asshole. Because this is not like his first time doing it. He's been on record going on teams to teams acting like an asshole. Even though he's a great player, he's been going on teams to teams acting like assholes and all that stuff. He has some off stuff issues that he's been dealing with, and like this right here, when they say he's no longer a buck, but I think a lot of people was still trying to like put him on the team. Now I kind of like he had to me he had like knowing football he has a history, so I'm probably going to be looking at it. Yes, he does have mental illness, but when is he going to take advantage of it, or if he's even trying to get help? um I also look at some because if anybody understands the Chris Benoit situation, I think that's another thing that picks up. If you ask Paul Heyman, even though he gives him credit of being a great wrestler, great technical wrestler, he looks at him as a piece of shit because he done killed it was part of a murder suicide, a homicide suicide, and that man like hung himself and all that other stuff because he had CTE. And even though they said he had CTE, he said, "I don't give a shit. Two people shouldn't have died that day," and all that other stuff. There's you see, and then you see people like Cat Williams where you could tell there's something like mentally wrong with him, but I don't think he's going to therapy or some shit like that. So you got to look at him. It's like even though he's hilarious, he's having all these jokes and stuff. When do someone come in and tell you, "Hey, man, you need help"?
You know,
And
it
this
might
is
be.
and go ahead.
Sorry. No, I'll say it could be a combination of mental illness because based on what you said, that's pretty much confirmed, and also he's probably surrounded with nothing but yes men. So nobody's even gonna say, "Yo, you maybe you should see," or you shouldn't. Nope, there's nobody because he's that good. Everybody's focused on his skills. They don't want to fuck that up or fuck up the chance of being close to him. It could be that too.
So I have a
Oh, you know
question.
what's funny? Because go ahead, Tanya.
Um, since he's been bouncing out, granted, you know what I'm saying? I ain't watched football in a minute, so forgive me if I'm fucking shit up. But um, you said he's been bouncing from team to team, right? So
Yeah.
couldn't they make that a condition in his employment that he go see help or go to a therapist once a week or once a month or something? If they're seeing that it's a habit and a problem.
But that's for
Here's
people
how
who don't care, right?
yeah, what
But
Crystal said. That's if they care.
I know clearly they don't. Obviously they don't. But I'm just saying that couldn't that be an option? Like, is that an option? Is that something that the NFL can technically do?
They've
Yes.
been pushing it.
Um,
They have been pushing it, especially when CTE was going, and I think Junior Seoff ended up, killing himself and all that stuff. So, and a lot of people have been speculating about them playing a bunch of years. They be having these headaches and all that other stuff. They be having these random aches they gotten from football, and the NFL doesn't give them nothing for it and all that stuff. It
Yeah, they said it was a
basketball.
correlation
I
between
know
that
that.
and beating women.
Yeah, I know basketball is like wrestling. It's just like you're on your own. I'm not even going to lie. wrestling, wrestling is a lot like you're on your own. Is it because if that's the case, Mick Foley should have health insurance up the ass. But
Undertaker too.
but mostly Undertaker too. Yeah, I done seen Undertaker land on his goddamn neck, and I'm pretty sure he wrestled the next day. And they're basically like wrestling is sort of like you're on your own because the way Vince have is like, and they're independent contractors that just work with WWE, some shit like that. So obviously, if they, like Crystal said, if they care, they would, but it doesn't really show, especially like those sports where it's like the manliest of men, and you just got to tough it out. And same thing with wrestling. I've seen people with a concussion and they finish the match because that's what you should do, and that's the protocol. That's like it's like an unwritten rule in wrestling and all that stuff. No matter how bad it is, you finish the match. So it's just one of those things where I do look at it, and people, I do have a question. It has always bugged me. I understand there are yes men on you, but who puts them there?
I guess it's
Is it?
oh, that's actually, you know
it
what?
I've always
that
because I've always been
now
because I've
that's
Yeah,
always been
that's
another
like
question.
enabling. Whoever his handler is probably like, yo, that's just to enable him so you could always be this way. So it could cause controversy. Shit.
I mean,
you
his
know,
homies could be yes men too.
hmm Oh, hell yeah. They want a piece of that. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, your
Hell
homies came
yeah.
up, got some NFL money. Yeah, do that.
all right, but and this is what I'm saying. Even as your homeboy, and even as a yes man, you wouldn't think, okay, to protect my best investment, which is this man, and hanging around this man doing shit, I will at least try to get something that will help him out.
But what you just tell me, they don't care.
Mm.
You could just hop
They,
onto another. You could find another investment. It don't take nothing to make friends.
uh,
I
yeah,
mean, there's a difference between making friends and picking up leeches.
hmm. But you know what I've noticed with the NFL too? You notice how they have the best sports doctors for people who are injured. They give the best bonuses for whoever they think could win the game and things of that nature. They give the best cards. They'll introduce them to the best real estate agent. These are things that go on behind the scene. But I find it interesting when it comes to their mental health or their retirement fund, nothing.
Exactly.
Because all that stuff in the future, we don't care about the future. We want to know what you can do for us right now.
I'm saying.
Win this game right now, though. Take this $1,000,000, but you got to win this game right now, though. Here's a house.
And you know what's funny because they did at one point they did release him, but and then me and my father was having this debate because I was like, who's going to pick him up if he's this much of a problem? And my thing is, even then, like mental illness or not, it's like you don't do no shit like that. If someone is this unstable, and I don't care how good he is, why are you keeping him here? But he was like someone else would pick him up because it's all about football. And like he could go to another team, and they kind of like kept him instead of cutting him. And I was like, oh, like I don't know, I get angry at that because I feel like that's not helping him. And even if he goes to another team, I was like, let it be their headache. You ain't got to worry about that. It's just you got other people on the. I don't care how good he is. You got other people on the roster that could, like, maybe not as good as him, but you got other people on the roster that you give him the chance, you might find the next Antonio Brown there. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, in other words, it's just like, okay, are they just going to enable him? Y'all not just going to pass him over to be someone else's problem, or are we also going to get help? It's like this whole question to me. This whole question is just like, especially the way y'all explain it, it goes to a bunch of branches to where it's not just one answer.
It's just unfortunate, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still these people's jobs. You know what I'm saying? And even with my little, regular 9 to 5 or whatever, I still have opportunities to seek out, therapists or counselors or whatever. And I'm not making nowhere near as much as they are. And it's just, like Crystal said, it's unfortunate that they have the best of the best, but y'all can't even set them up with retirement. Y'all can't even make sure they're mentally stable enough to even play. But hey, I guess you don't have to be sane to throw a ball.
Yeah, and like I said, I've also seen it to the point where the mentally ill, even though they know they have a condition and they know they can get away with shit, they'll use that to abuse that part. And this is, like I said, this is where the question comes in. It's like, is he even trying to get help, or does he even want help? Because he could probably look at this as a crutch, and people feel sorry for him and all that stuff, and just give him another chance. I've seen people abuse their mental illness just to get out of, not just like to get into shit, get out of trouble, or they know they did some fucked up shit, and you hear people say, I have a mental illness, or it's my Asperger's, or like, Father, we done had this a couple of times with people in the school when it was just like, it's this depression and all that other stuff. I was like, and there's a couple people I had to look at. It's just like, I understand you have a mental condition, but that doesn't mean you got to be an asshole. And just because, and like, I done treated a lot of the people in that school like regular people, even though I don't know if that's good or not. But there's some points where I understand your condition, but that don't mean it's for you to be an asshole. And that's probably because my little brother's mildly autistic, but even I have to look at him sometimes and say, you may be autistic, but you're not stupid. I know when you like trying to do shit. I don't that like I said, that's just how I. Any last words before we get into our final thoughts?
Nope. You covered it. How fucked up it is.
All right, cool. We're gonna get into our final thoughts, and we're gonna start with Crystal.
I sensed it that I was going to be first. Anyway, I I guess my final thought would be just as just as Black people in general, it would be nice if we can get our emotions out of a lot of things that we want want things to change, um, and pinpoint the issue or pinpoint the people that's in our community that tend to um, make things worse, tend to not help um, collaborate, or just be a negative Nancy. But it would be nice if we can just pinpoint the issues, get our emotions out of it, and go with logic and then make a solution instead of, kind of being the victim in some cases, because we do not need the world, and I've said this plenty of times, to see us as victims, even if we are. Sometimes we just have to find a solution within our community and work on it without things like BLM and all that stuff, because BLM is made up of 60% of Caucasian. Nothing wrong with different races, but it's very wrong when everybody has their own shit that they're building and we're still looking at other people. Not that we're necessarily doing it, but the media is making us look stupid, weak, and just foolish. So
Damn.
that's just my thoughts.
Damn.
Uh, that's it, Crystal.
That's it.
All right, Tanya is on you.
I knew it. I knew it. Alrighty. So
Ladies first.
ironically, um, as we know, next month is African American Heritage Month. The theme for next month is actually ironically Black health and wellness. With that being said, just make sure you guys are okay. You know, it is perfectly okay to go to a therapist. It's perfectly okay to go to a counselor. It's perfectly okay to take medication if that's what you feel like you need to take. But just make sure that your mind, your body, and your spirit are clear, and take care of yourself. And that's my final thought.
Yep.
D Wolf is on you.
Mine's really quick. Make the devil cry and God laugh.
Okay. All
Okay
right.
then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. See, really quick.
I'm gonna. That's gonna make me think a lot. But Dion is on you.
I want to go back to something I was said earlier. This whole talk of how what was that about a woman was saying, she's her man's give, she's the prize and all that bullshit. It, and this is something I wanted to say some time ago, but I left it alone. But I feel like now's the time to mention. All this talk of women are the prize, or all that. No, to say there's a prize involved when it comes to dating, that means you view it as a contest, as a game, and that's not the way to look at this shit. The prize, so to speak, is supposed to be just finding someone who loves and cares about your ass.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna keep it short.
Okay,
100%.
Father is on you.
I'm going to end my final thoughts with a quote. Wisdom comes only when you stop looking for it and start living the life the Creator intended for you. And that is my final thought.
Nice.
Love it.
Sadly enough, my quote was "Never go full retard" by Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Oh, wait. But I just
Oh
remembered.
shit.
I do want to say this. I am going to MagFest tomorrow, weather permitting.
Huh?
Tomorrow, yeah, I'm going
Respect
to a place called MagFest. It's a festival for like video games and stuff like that. I'm doing a
Music and
panel
gaming.
there. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh, that's
where
what's up.
is it
Okay,
in?
nice.
Where's it at?
it's in National Harbor.
See, damn, if I have to work tomorrow, I try to pull up.
I would say it was 24 hours, but it's not.
Nah, it is not no damn 24 hours. I hope it's not no damn 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna play my video games. Then I'm gonna leave.
So is it just everybody comes together to play video games? Is it like cosplay, or is it just music
I mean,
and with
yeah,
It's all that.
it's a little bit of everything. You got music, people cosplay. You can play video games. They got a little bit of everything.
Keyword fest.
Right.
Yo, and I'm gonna let you know the motherfuckers be wilding the fuck out. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, they do. They be wild
They
as
be
fuck.
so it's
they
really
be wilding.
for teens or
Nah, it's like adults.
adult. Okay, that just cleared up a lot of questions that I had. Okay, got it.
Nah. If you ever go to one, you should go to one. It's kind of entertaining. It's just if I would suggest anything, BlurCon because BlurCon be lit. But shoot. Oh yeah, my quote was never go full retard. And
Mhm.
and when I first watched it, I thought it was just a little funny saying about him for going Forrest Gump, and he was talking about Simple Jack and all that other stuff. And then you realize there's a lot of people that honestly really do be going full retard in real life,
Yeah.
and it's just like you're amazed. And I guess what brought that up is the video that Crystal sent me about the girl talking about she was the prize and she was what what I
Well,
tell
she
you
was a
is like
gift.
I stood there. Oh no, I stood there and I thought I was like, yo, somebody is fucking this woman.
Oh God.
Look, I don't care how bad you are. There are some women I feel like just you shouldn't touch, no matter how pretty they are. She's one of them. Black China is another one. Black China is just a broken woman to me. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of but
Black China ain't attractive no way, but yeah, at least to me.
She used to be. She used to be really
yeah,
pretty.
yeah,
mhm.
yeah. I agree with her.
I don't know much about
but
her, so I don't know what she looked like before she did whatever she did or didn't do to herself. So
It's ironic as fuck because I went to high school with her ass.
What?
Yeah.
I know someone else actually like claim like know her in person or whatever.
I ain't gonna say I know her because I don't, but we went to the same high school and we graduated the same class. And I didn't realize that was her until one of my friends like whipped out the yearbook and was like, no, look. And I'm like, oh shit, that is her. I really didn't know that was even her.
Oh.
so you ain't go back to her and like she gonna be a stripper one day. You never said that.
Okay, so if we're gonna be completely honest, I didn't know her. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't talk, we didn't run around in the same circles. But the circles that I did see her in, yeah, nah.
Not surprised that how she moved
They
down.
weren't my kind of circles. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure y'all picking up what I'm throwing down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know.
She
Yeah,
ran with the hoes. She ran with the hoes. Just
yeah,
say
in
that. She
you
ran
circles
ran
with
with
the
the
with
hoes.
hoes.
yeah. But
The boppers. The bobbers in
Papa's, oh my
DC.
God, rollers,
Yeah, them rollers. She be rolling.
rolling. Oh,
Mm-mm.
I understand this. Trust me, I understand exactly what you're saying. There, there was a there was a homegirl that she was a big Beyonce fan. She called up Beyonce. She was a stripper. She ended up being a stripper too.
Wow.
Then I introduced my friend to her and gave her a lap dance. So asked her to give my friend a lap dance. Excuse me before. I get but
I know what you meant.
No, he
yeah,
didn't.
but yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and especially in our community. And I said this. I hope we, like I say this all the time. I hope we do get to the point of fixing ourselves because before we even move, I do think before we even move forward, or at least try to move forward, there are things that we need to like literally fix. Obviously, we know the problems. Like we need to like fix, and like I don't. It's to a point where I was like, I don't care who started it. It's like an angry mother and mad at their kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who started it. It needs to be fixed. So we can get together, or we can start excluding people, Haiti style, and just like excluding all those coons and people that doesn't wants to move forward with us. We can just exterminate them, not killing, but just get them the fuck out of the way so we can become better as a community. I hope we get to that point. In other words, stop. I hope we stop going full retard one day because, like I said, we got to do. In the words of Charlie Murphy, rest in peace. We got to do better, and that's all I got to say. I would like to thank the panel for jumping on as always. I would like to thank all of y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is you know what? Let me just say podcast, and we signing out. Peace.
Peace.
Cheers.
Ah,